plus 15 defensive runs saved at shortstop with his plus glove at the position. He will likely begin the season as the team's backup at the position. While Riddle is a plus defender, the big knock on him is his offense. In 718 career plate appearances, Riddle owns a 229 average, 269 on base, and a 368 slugging. His WRC plus is 69. He has hit for extra base hits at just a 7.8% rate. His ISO is just 139, and he owns a lifetime 0 F4 in 3 MLB seasons with the Fish. It's far from a guarantee that Riddle will finish the 2020 season on the Pirate roster, although the abbreviated season seems to make it more likely. Regardless, he will start the 2020 season as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates roster. So there you go. 3 players you may have completely forgotten about during this coronavirus pandemic shutdown that the Pirates signed this offseason. And, a lot of fans sort of casually pay attention to spring training. And you may not have seen or heard about these guys, but the 3 guys to remember heading into 2020, that the new guys are Guillermo Heredia, Robbie Erlin, and JT Riddle. And when you break down those 3 players, we'll start back with Guillermo Heredia. It's clear that he's going to be the 4th outfielder in the Pirates rotation, per se. When they originally signed him, it appeared he was going to be the 4th outfielder, and then Starling Marte was traded. And at that point, the thought was, okay, Heredia is likely to be the starting center fielder, and that is when the Pirates signed Gerard Dyson, and it became clear that Dyson is the better player than Heredia, and Dyson will start in center field. But Heredia has an opportunity to platoon with Polanco in right field if Polanco's struggles against lefties continue. And to be honest, we all know that Gregory Polanco is very injury-prone out in right field, and he has struggled at times, so it wouldn't shock me if Heredia sees some significant playing time in right field, and that would be his best bet. In that case, you would see an outfield of Reynolds, Dyson, and Heredia. And again, Heredia he has the defense that is very good. His knock is clearly the offense, but the big thing that Heredia brings to the table that sort of separates him and in a sense, elevates his value that he brings to any team, especially a young team like the Pirates, is that clubhouse presence. He's by no means a veteran, but he's a very jovial, joyful player, and that's what he brings to the table, and it's what he's going to bring to the Pirates. Now, when it comes to our second guy we went over, left-handed pitcher Robbie Erlin, I have him potentially even being in the rotation. Now, when it comes to the rotation battle, it's clear the first 4 guys are going to be Joe Musgrove, Trevor Williams, Mitch Keller, and Derek Holland. As for the 5th guy, it's going to be, I would say, a 3-man battle between Chad Cole, Stephen Brault, and Robbie Erlin. I would say mainly a Cole Brault, but Erlin could sneak in there. Now, it's clear that Erlin is definitely going to make that 30-man roster, breaking camp on July 24th. However, I honestly think sort of his future with the Pirates comes with his trade value, because Erlin has been a very effective reliever in his MLB career. His 5.37 ERA may not reflect last year, but he had a very strong FIP and really just got unlucky with his results last year. I think Erlin, and if the Pirates aren't in contention, you could flip him for a decent prospect there, and that's what I think the focus should be with Robbie Erlin. Establish his trade value and trade him along with Adam Frazier at this August 31st trade deadline. And then when it comes to our final guy, it's JT Riddle. And out of the 3 guys we've talked about so far, Heredia is a slam dunk, Erlin's a slam dunk. Riddle isn't a slam dunk, but he's a pretty safe bet, especially with that 30-man roster. And even more so because of the fact that he's a solid defensive player at shortstop, and he can play out of the field. Second base, shortstop, left field, center field, right field, third base. He can play everywhere. And, the question becomes, is he going to stick around through 2023, which the Pirates acquired that control? That depends. His offense definitely needs to take a step forward. A 229 average and a 269 on base obviously are not going to be acceptable long term, but he could turn himself into a solid utility type player, sort of like how Adam Frazier is. Could be the next Adam Frazier, if the Pirates do decide to trade Frazier at the deadline. So, again, the 3 guys I want you to remember are Guillermo Heredia, Robbie Erlin, and JT Riddle heading into 2020. While the Pittsburgh Pirates have a few right field prospects, their long-term right fielder may currently be playing shortstop. Since about 2012, the Pittsburgh Pirates corner outfielders were formerly center fielders coming up through the minors that were moved to a corner because of being blocked in center. Starling Marte and Gregory Polanco were both primary center fielders coming up through the minors, but were moved to left and right once they got to the MLB level. And Brian Reynolds also played quite a bit of center field in previous minor league seasons before becoming primarily a left fielder in the 2019 season. Right now, nobody's blocking any prospect from taking over in center on the MLB roster. Currently, Gerard Dyson is supposed to be the team's primary center fielder, but he's only on a one-year deal and obviously isn't a long-term answer. Travis Swaggerty and Jared Oliva are the team's best long-term options for center field. Both have good enough fielding to do so, but what is the answer for the Pittsburgh Pirates in right field in the near future? Well, right now, Polanco is lined up for right field duties for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but his inconsistent performance and health raises major questions. Formerly a top 20 prospect, Polanco hasn't really had one really good season just yet. He looked like he was on the upturn after 2018 during the Pirates' last 500-plus season. Polanco batted a solid .254, got on base at a .340 clip, and slugged .499 with a career high in home runs with 23, OPS plus at 128, and WRC plus at 123. He also stole a dozen bases, making him a bit of a speed and power threat. Fielding-wise, he wasn't anything special with a -3 DRS, +5 total zone runs, -1 UZR, and -2.8 range runs, but had a solid arm. Polanco posted 1.5 arm runs above average. But a hard slide into second nearing the end of 2018 season really impacted Polanco's 2019 season. Not only did this impact Polanco's health the following season, as he only played 42 games and received 167 plate appearances, but it also affected his performance, coming in with a -0.6 BWAR. Regardless of the possibility of a 2020 season, it would have been Polanco's age 28 season, and 2021 season could be his last season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has options for the 2022 and 2023 season for $12.5 million and $13.5 million, considering that from 2014 to 2017, Polanco only had a .717 OPS and 94 OPS plus, and averaged less than 140 games a season. The $3 million buyout for 2022 and $1 million buyout for 2023 might be the route the Pirates go. So, if the Pirates let Polanco go, who takes over in right field? Right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates do not have a ready-to-go option, but by the end of 2021, they might in a less typical way. First, let's go into some of the Pirates prospects who already see some time in right field. The closest to being MLB ready is 20-year-old Jack Herman, but he is still a few years away. Herman definitely has some pretty good power potential. Through his first 161 plate appearances of Pro Ball in 2018, the 30th round selection put up a .340 average, .435 on base, and a .489 slugging, and had 14 extra base hits, including 9 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Last year, Herman didn't hit as well with a .254 average, .340 on base, .464 slugging, but still hit 13 long balls through 300 plate appearances at A-ball. Herman only has a future hit grade of 40, but has a future game and raw power grade of 55. He grades out as an average fielder, but has a 60 grade arm, making his place in right field seem like a perfect spot for a player of Herman's type. One that's going to provide power, get on base, and can throw some runners out with their strong arm. The slugger is ranked as the Bucs' 27th best prospect according to Fangraphs. The Pittsburgh Pirates' best right field prospect is Cal Mitchell. Fangraphs ranks him as the team's 15th best prospect. Mitchell batted for a .251 average, a .304 on base, and a .406 slugging at high A ball. He also hit 15 home runs and 493 plate appearances. Overall, he had a solid 110 WRC plus, which isn't bad, but not great for a bat-heavy position. He also only grades out at best as an average fielder with a future 50 fielding grade, but 45 arm grade. Another prospect with right field experience is Matt Gorski. Gorski ranks as the team's 34th best prospect. At low A ball, Last season, the outfielder only had a 223 average, 297 on base, and a 346 slugging line through 202 plate appearances. He only had a 96 WRC plus, overall making him a below average bat. Gorski's future probably isn't a starting outfielder, but more of a reserve fourth outfielder. He can run, as he has a 55 future and current speed grade, and field with 55 future grades for his arm and fielding. However, hit-wise, he only has a 45 future grade and 50 future raw power grade to go with a 45 game power future grade. However, the general consensus is that eventually shortstop prospect Oneil Cruz will make the move to right field. This is something that has been brought up many times, as the Pirates have many top shortstop prospects and could afford to try one at a different position that isn't up the middle. Cruz ranks as the 32nd best prospect in all of baseball. Cruz has an outstanding arm that would definitely fit in right field. Originally a third baseman, Cruz has an 80 current grade and future throw grade, which is the highest in all of baseball. Overall, he is an average to below average shortstop, so moving to right field could potentially help his fielding. He can also run fairly well with a current run grade of 60. His power bat also fits the position, as he currently has a 30 game power grade, but a future grade of 60, with his raw power sitting at 70 current, 80 future. Herman is probably one of the more underrated solutions the Pittsburgh Pirates could turn to, but with so many other middle infield prospects, finding a place for Cruz in the infield will be a bit difficult. With his athletic ability and great arm, he would make a perfect fit in right field for the long term. Regardless, the Pirates should have a plan in place for the position, and they need to. So what is clear is that Gregory Polanco is going to, at the bare minimum, platoon in right this year with Guillermo Heredia. Bare minimum. 2021, bare minimum again, let's say he platoons with Heredia in right in a full season 2021. But after that, if he doesn't show out in a big way these next 2 years, they're not going to pick up the rest of the $25 million that Gregory Polanco is owed with the Pirates team option in 2023 and 2024. They'll go the route of the $4 million buyout. And at that point, the question then becomes, who is the starting right fielder? We went through the list, and I think that our 30th round pick from 2018, Jack Herman, like him a lot, and he's an underrated solution that the Pirates could turn to. And the thing is, and the reason why I say, okay, maybe our future right fielder is playing shortstop, and that's Oneil Cruz, it's because there's just so many middle infield prospects. There really is. Whether it be Cole Tucker, whether it be Oneil Cruz, whether it be Ji-Hwan Bae, Steven Alames, Nick Gonzalez, Liver Peguero, the list goes on and on. They all play shortstop, up the middle. I mean, you're going to have to move Cruz off of the shortstop position if you're going to want to see him have playing time. Because we already talked about, okay, we need to trade Frazier because there's a backlog and it won't allow for Cole Tucker to start. That's why you have to move Cruz to right field. And obviously Jack Herman could prove us all wrong and be ready by 2022 and be the starting right fielder. And if I had to put my money on it, honestly, if Polanco is not the starting right fielder in 2022, I would say Jack Herman is going to be ready. If it's not Herman, it's going to be Cruz. And the other guys, Cal Mitchell and Matt Gorski, there's some solid guys too, but Cal Mitchell, he doesn't really excite me. Jack Herman excites me much more than Mitchell. And Matt Gorski is really more the fourth outfielder type player. So it's either Jack Herman or Oneil Cruz, I think, long-term in right field. Now, the Pirates have been consistent in saying that Oneil Cruz is going to stick at shortstop for the time being, but he's only at Double-A right now. He's obviously not going to play, I would imagine. He's obviously going to be in Altoona training at the alternate training site at People's Natural Gas Field, home of the Curve. But when it comes to his future, and when he starts playing games again in 2021, I would be shocked if he's not getting some outfield reps. Because that's where he fits. I mean, the 80 arm grade is the best in all of baseball, and the power grade that he brings to it, he has all the tools, all the complexion to be the right fielder, and he looks like a skinny Gregory Polanco right now, to be honest. And hopefully Cruz does much better than Polanco at fitting the bill of the top prospect But I would say